And you guys, really interesting story because it really seemed, at least here in New York as well, and maybe globally, corporate America back on the path towards normalcy. But then you had this new wave of COVID uncertainty upending some of the business plans from Wall Street all the way to Silicon Valley. Apple and Alphabet's Google, they've indefinitely put off their return to office dates. Citigroup told staffers in the New York area to work from home through the holidays if they're able, and Citadel also echoing that plan. Jefferies now telling bankers go back to remote work after the firm saw an increase in those cases following the Thanksgiving holiday. Kaylee, you try to pull it back to the markets. Is this sort of another risk-off sentiment? Doesn't at least seem like that from the notes that I've read, but it does hint at the caution that this variant has created.
Yeah, and obviously these are all private companies kind of voluntarily telling their employees this, but you look at in the UK, for example, where people broadly are being encouraged to work from home. You're seeing that reflected in the economic activity in London. People aren't going to go to bars. They aren't going to go visit, their coffee shops and lunch places. It does have a ripple effect. The question is whether or not this catches on to a larger extent, and what Wall Street is doing is going to become the norm.
Yeah, well, you're already seeing it over there in Europe. This has gone beyond offices. You're seeing nightclubs and bars shut down. Even here in the U.S., you've got Broadway shows just shut down. You've had several major universities, Princeton, Stanford, NYU, all saying that they've either shut down partially for the rest of the year, or the rest of the calendar year, or they're delaying the restart as they come back in 2022. So, this is serious. And we've talked about the idea that no one really knows what this variant is going to do or what the next variant is going to do. You just kind of have to play it by ear.
And that's what companies have had to do time and again, seeing so many of those return to office dates that were set just being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back until now, ultimately they're being abandoned entirely by some companies.